You ever hear a phrase that's so specific, but at the same time you just get it? Well, today we're diving into a really good one, the sister-in-law's semantic snare. I mean, come on, it sounds exactly like the title of a mystery novel, right? You've got your character, the sister-in-law. You've got the method, something semantic, and you've got the crime, a snare. It just pulls you in and makes you ask, okay, what is this really? And who's the victim here? And you know what? In a lot of ways, it is a kind of mystery. So let's play detective. We're going to follow the clues, piece everything together, and figure out what this very unique and very frustrating communication trap is all about. All right, first things first. To really get what's going on, we have to look at the clues. And that means breaking this phrase down into its three key parts: sister-in-law, semantic, and snare. Okay, so let's start with sister-in-law. Why that person specifically? It's such a deliberate choice. Think about it. A sister-in-law is family, for sure, but they're also kind of an outsider to the original core unit. They're in this unique position where they can observe things, and their communication can be, well, a little more indirect, a little more loaded with subtext. It's the perfect archetype for this kind of thing. Then you have the word semantic. This is the part that tells us the trap isn't, a physical thing. It's all about language. It's about the meaning hidden between the words. We're talking about implications, assumptions, all the things we manage to say without actually saying them. It's a total game of interpretation. And that brings us to the last word, snare. And this one is so important. A snare isn't just an accident or a simple misunderstanding. No way. It's intentional. It's a trap, but it's built out of words, designed to back you into a corner. You know that feeling, that sinking feeling in a conversation where you realize you've been totally outmaneuvered? That's the snare. Okay, so we've got all the pieces of the puzzle laid out. We have the sister-in-law, the semantics, and the snare. Now let's put them all together and see how this thing actually works in the real world. And here's where it all clicks. Look at the comparison. On one side, you've got direct communication. But on the other, that's the snare. The statements sound like compliments, don't they? Oh, it must be so nice, or you're so lucky. But they're absolutely dripping with hidden criticism. If you agree, you're admitting you're messy or bad with money. If you disagree, you sound super defensive. It's a total no-win situation. And that right there is the sneaky genius of it. And make no mistake, this doesn't happen by accident. There's a formula to it, a clear three-step process. First, you start with something that sounds totally innocent, maybe even a compliment. Then, you embed the real criticism inside it. And finally, boom, the trap is sprung. The other person is completely on the defensive. It is, quite literally, a masterclass in passive aggression. All right, so now we know what the snare is, and we know how it's built. But the real trick is learning how to spot it out in the wild. Because let's be honest, this tactic is used by a lot more people than just sisters-in-law. And once you know what to look for, you start seeing it everywhere, don't you? At family gatherings, for sure. In workplace politics, absolutely. How about that passive-aggressive text message you got last week? Or that piece of friendly advice that just left you feeling kind of crummy? Yep, those are all different versions of the semantic snare. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The most effective traps are not made of steel, but of sentences. That's the whole idea right there. The real power here is taking something we use every single day, language, and turning it into a weapon, a tool for control. You get tangled up in sentences, forced to play a game you never even agreed to. But here's the good news. Just seeing the pattern, just recognizing the trap for what it is, that's the biggest step to disarming it. So the next time you feel that subtle little tug of a semantic snare, the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to step into it, try to sidestep it, or maybe even call it out directly? Now that you know the game, the next move is yours.